Welcome to Mystery Wargaming. I'm John and this is Fallout Factions. It's time to enter the Wasteland with the full release of the gang warfare game Fallout Factions. Two gangs are kicking off the series as they try and gain a foothold in the vast theme park of Nuka World. So let's meet our gangs. First up are Lucky Joe's Diamondbacks. It's the same gang of operators that fought amongst themselves during the Quick Start game. The gang is now unified under Lucky Joe's leadership as they venture towards the park. The crew has been slightly reorganised, with Husker and Moon taking on made man roles, bringing a combat rifle and combat shotgun respectively. Kiki, Bobby Ray and Echo return as psychos with close range pistols. Tina brings her marksman's handmade rifle as the crew's sniper. Eddie and Slick Rick bring regular handmade rifles, with Vigo rounding out the gang with a baseball bat. Their competition are the Rabid. These pack raiders are led by Red Rum, who's bringing a deathcore gauntlet with him. Otis and Horace are the gang's top dogs, with Otis bringing predator grenades and Horace bringing a flamer. Bud, Wade and Robbie are the gang's psychos, favouring close range pistols and melee weapons. Duke and Dakota are scavvers with sawn-off shotguns, while Buckley has an automatic handmade rifle. Lastly, Nyla is a waster with a simple loadout. As it's the first game for both crews, the scenario is a skirmish in the Wasteland. In the outskirts of the park, our gangs have stumbled into each other before entering the park proper. The Rabid are the attackers, and the game will last 4 turns. Victory points are based on enemies incapacitated, with each gang's champions worth 3 victory points, while everyone else is worth 1. The gangs take their place in opposing corners, and the game begins. The Rabid have initiative as Red Rum shouts orders to his gang. He charges forward along with Horace, Duke, Bud and Nyla. Bursting bad, it's driving me nuts. Who out there plays this tricky game? Driving me wild, oh, it's a shame. Who unglued my Nuka-Cola shut? I'm thirsting bad, it's driving me nuts. Who out there plays this tricky game? Driving me wild, oh, it's a shame. Slick Rick moves and tries taking a shot at the pack alpha. Sitting here in my booth, all alone. This bottle top, they won't leave my zone. The shot barely grazes him, increasing Red Rum's harm. Who unglued my Nuka-Cola shut? I'm losing patience, it's just my luck. Friends all laugh, they're having a ball, but here I am. Dakota moves into a searchable token to rummage. She finds a dose of Psycho, a potent drug that the gang can make use of. Who out there plays this tricky game? Driving me wild, oh it's a shame. Who unglued my Nuka-Cola shut? I need a drink, someone fess up. Eddie joins Slick Rick and fires at Red Rum. Though like before, the shot only increases the alpha's harm. One of the Rabid's top dogs, Otis, orders Robbie, Buckley and Wade to join him as he moves up. Moon moves in to fire his combat shotgun at Red Rum. The shot would increase the Alpha's harm twice, bringing it to the maximum. And causing an injury. Red Rum needs to get in close, so orders Bud to join him. Tina takes aim and fires at Duke. The shot only grazing the pack raider. Wade takes a shot at Moon. But only increases his harm. Husker orders Echo and Bobby Ray to get moving. Nyla rummages through the nearby searchable, finding a second dose of Psycho. Vigo moves up and rummages his own searchable, finding some buff out for his gang. Buckley moves in against the bus. Echo takes a shot at Robbie, but the shot misses entirely. Robbie then returns fire. This time the shot hits and Echo is harmed. Husker moves towards the pile of debris. Duke gets in close. Kiki moves up and shoots Red Rum. The shot increasing his harm, which in turn causes another injury. Horus unleashes his flamer at a point near the Diamondbacks. Everyone within 2 inches is hit, which would be Moon, Kiki and Eddie. The attack against Moon only increases the Made Man's harm. But that's more than it manages against Eddie. While Kiki is only harmed. Lucky Joe moves in and fires his plasma pistol at Bud. The shot isn't much, only harming the Rabid Raider, despite nearly causing a meltdown. Otis throws one of his Predator grenades at the operators. The blast hits Moon, Lucky Joe, Bobby Ray and Eddie. Moon is harmed, twice thanks to the grenade's main rule, which gives Moon an injury. Bobby Ray is likewise harmed twice. The same happens to Lucky Joe. To end the round, Bobby Ray takes a shot at Bud, but misses. To begin the second turn, Red Rum orders Bud and Duke to move.
Shields have faded, suddenly a spark flew.
before brawling with Moon. The Deathclaw Gauntlet doing more than enough damage to the injured Made Man to incapacitate him. The Rabid gained 3 victory points, and it's worth noting that I entirely forgot about the confusion rule for this game. Lucky Joe charges at the Rabid Alpha. His shish kebab sword igniting red rum and incapacitates him. The Diamondbacks gain 3 victory points, tying the game up. Bud brawls with Eddie, but the Sledgehammer's unwieldy rule limits how much damage he can do, and Eddie is only harmed. Husker keeps moving and fires at Otis. The shot harms the top dog. Vigo charges in at Bud, but misses his attack entirely. Duke fires his sawn-off shotgun at Lucky Joe. With the shot being so close range, extra dice are rolled, but the shot only grazes the boss. Slick Rick fires at Otis. The shot harming him. And suppressing him, adding a level of fatigue. Rick fires again thanks to his rifle's fast rule, further increasing Otis's harm. At At this point, I remember that extra dice are rolled on ranged attacks against wide open targets. Wade moves in and fires at the Diamondback boss. Causing an injury. Bobby Ray gets in and brawls with Wade. But only increases his harm. Buckley opens fire on Lucky Joe, gaining extra dice thanks to the weapon's Storm rule. The shot increases the boss's harm, so he takes another injury. Buckley then rummages through the search wall and finds the stim pack. Tina moves into a new firing position. Otis uses the newly acquired stim pack, recovering some harm, before throwing another Predator grenade. This time the blast hits Lucky Joe, Bobby Ray, Vigo, Eddie and Kiki, but also causes some friendly fire as it hits Bud. Lucky Joe takes enough of a hit to incapacitate him. Bobby Ray is only harmed. Thankfully, the same for Bud. Vigo, meanwhile, is incapacitated. The blast then also incapacitates Eddie. While Kiki is only harmed. The grenade scoring 5 victory points for the Rabid. Kiki retaliates by brawling with Bud. Incapacitating him. Horace moves in and rummages through the search wall, picking up some buff out. Tina fires at Dakota, making use of her rifle's long range. But without being able to aim the shot, it only grazes her. Nyla hurries into position. Echo moves and fires at Robbie. But again the shot misses. Lastly, Robbie brawls with Echo. But only increases her harm. It's turn 3 and things are looking rough for the Diamondbacks. Otis charges in at Bobby Ray. Being strong enough to wield his sledgehammer properly, he brings it down on the operator, incapacitating him and further increasing his gang's lead. Slick Rick opens fire on Nyla, harming her. He fires again, but only grazes her. I make a mistake here and I activate Husker when play should have gone to the Rabid. Husker guns down Dakota. Needing to fire twice to do so. Wade orders Nyla to join him as he charges at Kiki. The following brawl only harmed her. Kiki fights back at Nyla, incapacitating her. Horace orders Duke to move in with him. He then fires his flamer at Slick Rick. Who escapes, taking some harm. Tina takes aim and fires at Buckley. But the shot only grazes him. Duke then fires his shotgun at Slick Rick. It's not quite enough for the extra dice, and Rick is only harmed. Kiki brawls with Wade, but only harms him. Buckley moves out into the open before firing at Husker. The shot only grazing her. Echo backs off from Robbie before firing her pistol at him. But again, Echo's shot misses. Robbie then charges in and brawls with Echo. Harming her to end the turn. It's the final turn, and Duke moves in to fire at Slick Rick.
Boom, the world went boom the moment that it fell. The skies went blue. I never will forget that dark and bruised the day the atom shattered. We're rebuilding strong out in the hills.
The shot finds its mark, and Rick is incapacitated.
With our armor on. March, our hearts will march with strength and courage high. We play our parts through the mountain trails amidst the sparse reviving our.
Tina fires at Duke, but even with aiming, can only harm him.
Out in the hills we belong. We'll right the wrong with our armor on.
Buckley fires at Husker, grazing her. He fires again, this time doing enough to cause an injury. Echo backs off and fires at Robbie again.
Precious joy is flowing out in cheer. We'll gather every year, no more to fear.
This time she actually hits him. The pack raider is slightly harmed. The Diamondbacks then use a ploy, teamwork. This allows them to intentionally do what I accidentally did last turn and activate another model. Husker moves up and fires at Robbie. Causing enough damage to incapacitate him. Wade brawls with Kiki, incapacitating her. He then orders Otis and Horace to move in with him towards the last of the operators. Horace fires at Tina. Doing more than enough damage to incapacitate her. This leaves Otis with nothing to do to end the game. The Rabid win with 12 victory points to 7. As it was each gang's first game, they begin by staking a claim. They pick one of the Nuka World locations as their home turf, and the crews also choose their quest. This is a background quest that each gang wants to reach, in addition to dominating the park. Things did not go as planned for the operators. The gang got caught by area of effect weapons while bunched up and took heavy casualties early. While clawing some victory points back, not being able to take out either top dog really sealed the deal for them. The Diamondbacks gained 2 experience for surviving and incapacitating a champion. Their chosen quest is The Professionals, putting the gang's focus on upgrading their guns and taking out enemies at range. They've also staked a claim in the World of Refreshment, a functional Nuka-Cola factory and ride. The location has a nice supply of refreshing Nuka-Cola. For the story actions, the newly arrived gang barter in their home turf, gaining 10 caps. An Echo goes out to scout Dry Rock Gulch, giving the gang a scouting point. The pack caused a lot of damage this game with a decisive victory. Otis and Horace really punished the Diamondbacks for grouping up, a mistake they would do well to avoid making in future. The gang gained 2 experience for surviving and incapacitating a champion, and earned 7 caps for winning. Their chosen quest is Rumble in the Jungle, which focuses the gang towards aggression and scouting ahead. They stake their claim in the Safari Adventure. Leaning into their pack animal tendencies, The safari adventure has some exotic and dangerous animals for the game to be inspired by. For the story actions, they barter some extra caps, and Nyla attempts to scout Dry Rock Gulch. But something happens and she's waylaid, means she'll be absent from the gang's next game. To try and make up for it, the gang use their experience to train Buckley, who increases his strength. And that was Fallout Factions. I really like the campaign system for this, and I really want to add some more gangs, like the Brotherhood of Steel, some Disciples, and more, just to keep things interesting. Let me know if you'd like to see any more Fallout, or if there's another game you'd like to see me try out. It's already weird not planning another Blood Bowl video, so the next video should be some more Star Trek Alliance. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care.